Hello internet. So I wanted to make this video for a few reasons. One, mainly I just want to spread some AVM awareness because it is very rare. Like, most people have one but don't even know about it unless it ruptures. Two, I found very little help online about it, so I had no idea what to expect, and hopefully now somebody can relate to this experience or use it to know what they are about to experience. And three, it is terrifying to be alone in a hospital. Like, brain surgery alone is scary, but then brain surgery, when you're completely alone, is terrifying. So, I have this on my computer typed up because there's a lot and I don't want to forget anything. And if you haven't watched the stroke video, I highly suggest that so you have some background. I will put the link for that in the description. Alright, here we go. So basically, my stroke happened on January 18th, 2020. An angiogram found in AVM the next day. I spent a week in the hospital, and on the last day, January 24th, they took an MRI of my head, but there was too much blood residue to see anything, so they had me come back in a few weeks so the residue would go down. On February 14th, I have another MRI, and there's some blood residue still, but they can see the AVM. So the surgeon couldn't really decide if I should have surgery or radiation because of the location it was in. So he ends up sending the pictures all over the country, all over the world, all his colleagues. You know, I'm hoping for surgery, but trusting the doctors. So on March 3rd, I get a phone call from his nurse saying that his colleagues believe that surgery is a better option. I was prepared to hear radiation, so I wanted to discuss more. I had an appointment March 5th that she would have canceled had I said to schedule the surgery, so she kept it and then scheduled it after that appointment. So I go in on March 5th, and the first thing the surgeon says is that he was expecting to see me and to discuss more. And funny enough, he pulls up my MRI pictures so I could see them. And when he was pulling them up, I saw that I was the youngest patient at 22 years old, and then the next age was 49, and then like 4 more people between 60 to 80. So yeah, I'm very young, but you're never too young to have a stroke. Yeah. Anyway, so he says that side effects may be that I could go blind, deaf, speechless, paralyzed, or even dead. Highly unlikely that any of those things will happen, but, you know, just throwing it out there that it could. Warn me, you know. So I find out my surgery is going to be on March 27th. I needed an MRI the day before for more clarity on where the AVM is. So, about a week before the MRI appointment, the pandemic begins. And I get a call from the hospital wanting to cancel it because they're only doing essential appointments. My mom says I need to have surgery the next day, and asks if the surgery is still happening. So the lady has to check with the hospital because she didn't know I was having it for surgery. She calls back about 10 minutes later saying surgery is still happening, so the MRI is also still happening. So 2 days before the surgery, I get a phone call saying that only one person is allowed with me because of hospital protocols due to a brand new pandemic. And I'm totally okay with this because, you know, I'm not going to be alone. At least I'll have one other person. But then the day before the surgery, I get an update phone call saying that no one is allowed to be with me. And I am extremely scared because, like, what if something bad happens, you know? But the surgery goes well. I was told to expect it to take about 6 hours, but it took over 8. And my mom was allowed to be in the waiting room, at least, but she had to leave right after I had surgery and she could see me. Which was kind of funny because after the surgery, the guy in the room asked me if I wanted to see my mom, and I was like, no, I need to have surgery. And he's like, the surgery's done. And I'm like, it's done? Then yeah, send her in. Funny stuff. Anyway, so the day after the surgery, I had a second angiogram to make sure that it was gone. I was told that I would be awake for it, but I would be giving anti-anxiety medication. I do not remember it. I remember being in the room and then kind of waking up. That's about it. It was completely removed, though. Yay! So, after surgery, the right side of my face is numb, my right jaw area hurt, I was out of breath and dizzy easily, taking a few steps, my face was swollen, droopy on the right side still. I had double vision, like I remember watching TV, putting it on in the hospital, and there's the TV, and then there was another TV like in the corner of it. It just was too much for me, so I had to turn it off. But the double vision did go away while I was in the hospital. I couldn't wink out my right eye. I couldn't raise my right eyebrow or flame my right nostril. And my smile was very weird. It looked like I half a smile because the right side wouldn't raise up. The lines on the right side of my forehead didn't show when I tried to raise my eyebrows. You know that? Yeah. It took about a month before I saw them like starting to come back, and I was really excited. I couldn't hear out of my right ear, but when I said that to the surgeon when he was doing his checkup rounds, whatever, he did this little hearing test where he takes his fingers and his thumb and just rubs them like right next to my ear. Now the left one I could hear just fine. The right one was just teeny tiny bit I could hear. Like scale 0 to 10, I could hear like 0.01. Like I could very barely hear it, but I could hear it. That was good. So he said that I probably had some fluid in it from the surgery and it should go away in about 6 to 8 weeks. It took probably about 7 weeks before it came back. I was also then told before surgery that I would be in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. For example, they told me that most people would have surgery on Monday and be out Wednesday. So I had surgery on a Friday and I was hoping to go home Sunday. But Sunday came and I just did not feel ready to go home. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I did not feel ready to go home. I didn't say anything to any doctors or any nurses or anybody. I just was not ready. But then when the surgeon came in about an hour after I woke up, he asked if I was ready to go home tomorrow, as in Monday, and I was like, yep, I'm ready tomorrow. I was a little upset because Monday the 30th, March 30th, is my dog's birthday, so I wanted to be home and celebrate all day long with him, but, you know, I got to spend the late afternoon with him and evening, even though all he did was sleep, pretty much. But, yeah, so I come home Monday, and on Wednesday, August 1st, my head started leaking. But I will tell you more in the next video, because this one's too long already. See you there!